9 years have passed when Aarushi Talwar, then 14 years old, was discovered in her Noida flat with her throat cut. Their domestic helper, Hemraj, was accused of killing her, and the following day, his body was discovered on the terrace. Police believed it to be an insider's work because the murder was claimed to have been committed with surgical precision. What really happened in this case? Who are the real culprits? Let's dive into one of the most horrifying cases in India, the murder of Aarushi Talwar. The unsolved deaths of Aarushi Talwar, 13, and Hemraj Banjade, a live-in domestic worker employed by her family, in 2008 in Noida, are also known as the double murder case. At Aarushi's residence in Noida, India, on the night of May 15, 2008, the two were fatally shot. The case sparked curiosity in the community as a mystery. Many characterized the extraordinary media coverage as a media trial because it contained lewd accusations against Aarushi and the suspects. Hemraj was absent and seen as the prime suspect when Aarushi's body was found in her bedroom on May 16th. Hemraj's largely disintegrated body was found on the terrace the following day. The police faced harsh criticism for not securing the crime scene right away. The police identified Dr. Rajesh Talwar and Dr. Nupur Talwar as the main suspects after ruling out any former household helpers. After discovering the victims in an objectionable situation, or as a result of Rajesh's alleged extramarital affair, which resulted in blackmail from Hemraj and a fight with Aarushi, the police assumed that Rajesh had killed the victims. Family and acquaintances of the Talwars alleged that the police falsely implicated the Talwars in order to cover up the flawed investigation. The CBI took over the investigation after the case was handed over, clearing the parents while indicting the Talwars' aide Krishna Thadarai and 2 domestic helpers, Rajkumar and Vijay Mandal. The CBI believed the 3 men had slain Aarushi after an attempted sexual assault, and Hemraj for becoming a witness based on their narco interrogation of them. The CBI was charged of utilizing questionable tactics to obtain a confession, and all 3 individuals were freed due to a lack of proof. A new team was assigned to the inquiry by the CBI in 2009, and they suggested that the matter be closed. It identified Rajesh Talwar as the only suspect based on circumstantial evidence, but declined to press charges against him because of significant gaps in the proof. The parents disagreed with the closure report, claiming that Rajesh Talwar's suspicion by the CBI was unfounded. A special CBI court subsequently dismissed the CBI's argument that there wasn't enough proof and ruled that the Talwars will face legal action. The parents were found guilty and given a life sentence in jail in November 2013, despite complaints that the verdict was based on flimsy evidence. The Talwars were exonerated in 2017 when the Allahabad High Court heard their successful appeal of the ruling. The matter has not been resolved. Investigation. According to the forensic scientists, Aarushi was initially attacked with a heavy, sharp-edged weapon in May 2008. Her death from the first blow to the forehead occurred in less than 2 minutes, as evidenced by the size of the blood clot. After Aarushi's parents were accused of her murder in 2012, the CBI asserted that the dimensions of the striking distance of one of Rajesh's golf clubs and the size of the wounds discovered on the bodies were the same. In his testimony, Dr. Sunil Dore suggested that a golf club might have been the source of the UV-shaped wounds. The CBI agents, according to the defense, inferred the words golf club from Dore's speech. The attorney representing the Talwars claimed that Aarushi had a hairline fracture and showed the court forensic expert Dr. R.K. Sharma, who said that a golf club could not have caused this fracture. The tool that was used to slit the victims' necks was never discovered. The same weapon was used on both victims, as evidenced by the same measurements of the lacerated wounds. The incisions, which were inflicted at the proper position to cut the windpipe and sever the crucial left common carotid artery, which delivers oxygenated blood to the brain, were described by forensic specialists as displaying clinical precision and careful thought in May 2008. Initially, the Noida police claimed that the object used was a surgical knife when they first suspected the parents. By June 2008, the 3 Nepali guys were under investigation by the CBI, and it was thought that the weapon was a kukri, a sort of Nepali knife. The surgical instrument notion was once more used by the second CBI team. In 2013, the CBI informed the court that dental students at the Talwar's alma mater, Maulana Azad Medical College, were instructed in surgery. A dentist's scalpel, according to the defense, has a cutting surface of roughly 1 centimeter, making it too delicate to cut through the carotid artery. The wounds may have been made by a kukri or a surgical scalpel num 10, according to the defense witness Dr. R.K. Sharma. The parents were likely involved in the crime, according to the CBI's interpretation of the circumstantial evidence. Only they could have dressed up the crime scene, covering Aarushi's body, arranging her bedclothes neatly, tidying up her privates, attempting to conceal Hemraj's body, etc. The blunt injury appeared to have been produced by a golf club, according to the CBI, and the slashes on the victims' necks were surgical and could only have been made by someone with professional training. The CBI also reiterated the claims made by the police, including the use of no force to enter Aarushi's room, Rajesh's alleged use of deception to avoid giving up the terrace key, the refusal to identify the deceased as Hemraj, attempts to have any mention of sexual assault eliminated from the post-mortem report, etc. Since there was no indication of a forced entry into the home and no established purpose, the CBI ruled out the involvement of any intruders save Thadarai, Rajkumar, and Mandal. The CBI further contended that a stranger would not have bothered to stage the crime scene or conceal Hemraj's body by dragging it and covering it with a cooler panel. AGL Cowell, a CBI officer, later admitted that he had intended to charge the parents with the killings, but that Nilav Kishore and Javed Ahmed had opted to file a closure report due to a lack of evidence. Before submitting the closure report, the initial CBI team member Arun Kumar was consulted, and he asserted that there was no proof connecting the Talwars to the crime. The Talwars blasted the CBI for leveling false and baseless accusations against them when Rajesh Talwar was mentioned in the report as a suspect. Nupur lamented that the CBI had sentenced them to life in prison. Utsav Sharma, 29, a self-described vigilante, attacked Rajesh Talwar with a meat cleaver on January 24, 2011, in front of the court. Rajesh sustained significant injuries to his hands and right side of his face. Sharma had previously criticized former police chief SP Srathor of the Ruchika Girhotra case and claimed to be angry with the case's poor progress. Nupur blasted the media's coverage of the case and accused the CBI of unleashing mob on her family. A special CBI court found Rajesh and Nupur Talwar guilty of the two murders on November 25, 2013. The couple was found guilty of murder, destroying evidence, deceiving the investigation, and filing a false police report by Special Judge Shyam Lal. For the twin murders, they received a life sentence on November 26, 2013. The Talwar family criticized the decision as a miscarriage of justice and said that the CBI failed to provide evidence in court that would have demonstrated Rajesh and Nupur's innocence. According to journalist Aviruk Sen, the judge allegedly wrote the case judgment before the defense team had finished its arguments. The Talwars appealed the judgment to the Allahabad High Court in January 2014. The Talwars were cleared of all charges by the High Court on October 12, after finding that the CBI's evidence against them did not prove their innocence beyond a reasonable doubt, and that they should have been given the benefit of the doubt rather than being found guilty based only on suspicion. The CBI's argument on the killing of domestic help Hemraj in the Aarushi murder case was criticized by the High Court as being patently absurd and an impossible hypothesis. Hemraj's wife Kumkala and her brother Ashok Bhushal denounced the judgment as unfair. Families of Hemraj and his relatives in Nepal still hold the Talwars accountable. The judgment, as well as the caliber of the evidence presented in the case, are criticized in the book The Killing of Aarushi and the Murder of Justice, which analyzes the trial court verdict. It further contends that the Aarushi case serves as a mirror to other instances of injustice that have occurred in tens of thousands of other criminal cases throughout India. On 8 March 2018, the CBI appealed the verdict to the Supreme Court, which accepted the CBI's appeal on 10 August. This is the end of this video, so make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to this video for more videos like this.